Hello and welcome to the Survivor Maryland Generations Episode 3 live after show. I am your host, Anders. With me as always is my co-host who I'm bringing up here. Sorry.
Wow. Promotion.
Promotion. Erin. Erin, how we doing?
Hello.
Episode 3.
We're doing fantastic. Yeah, having a great time. Great comeback after the week off. Very good episode, continuing a very good season. I think, just more explosions, more mess, and we're just keeping seeing more of the same, and I'm very happy about that.
I can't wait to get into it more. Joining us after a bit of a snafu last time, we've got Season 8 player and future Survivor Maryland host, Jacq. Whoa. Jacq, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Anders and Erin. Nice to see you under much more favorable circumstances.
True.
Of just being voted off. Okay. Hey, by the way, it's raining a lot in LA, so if my power goes out, that's why. It's not because I'm really mad about the discussion we're having. Joining us from Michigan, an all-star in his own right, but barely in that season, Akshay. How you doing, Akshay?
We don't count the All-Star season. We say from season 1 because that was the real season that I was on. The other one was my 1 week free trial, and then I canceled the subscription before I decided to continue the rest of that season.
And that'll happen. And then finally, our super fan, creator of the wiki and defeater of Charlie, Jacq. How are you?
I mean, I feel great. It feels like it's been over 10 years since I was sitting in my math class editing the Survivor Maryland wiki like a loser. And now I wish I could go back to that.
Hey, you can always be a loser and make the Survivor Maryland wiki your main focus in life. That's always an option.
That's true.
Anyways, thank you everyone for being here. We're here to talk about episode 3. What an insane episode. We obviously had a week off, but this episode jumped right back into it, and I was like, wow, this is a fantastic season. I've got to say, just a general note, I love this episode. I thought it was great. I thought it was fun. And frankly, it was a lot more exciting than I thought it would be. I feel like every week I'm going into it expecting it to be, well, it's obviously going to be this person. And then somehow the edit, it convinces me, oh my God, it's going to be something crazy. I did not love the ending of this, but we'll get into it. What did you all think about this episode? How did we feel about everything that happened? The fallout from Cassava and Daniela's sort of tirade, the growing anger that's happening on Kyoshi and the divisions there. We saw the creation of an alliance and the immediate destruction of it. I mean, it's a mess. What are our takeaways or our initial responses to the episode?
That was the correct answer. It's a mess. It's just the best way to describe the gameplay this season. I don't know what these people are on, but I want all casts to be on it from now on. And it's funny because this was the cool down episode. This was not as ridiculous as episodes 1 and 2, which should tell you how absolutely insane this season has been so far. Just because, like I said, I'm not on the I had no clue what was going to happen. That felt firmly red herring to me at the end. But at the same time, I still think it was bad gameplay, but I just thought the whole time, the person that was going home was always going home. That being said, like I said, gameplay that's bad is really horrible when you're playing the game, and it's so entertaining when you're watching. So more bad gameplay, everyone. Please keep it going.
I think this was the most well-rounded episode so far. We got a lot of good content from people that we haven't been seeing much. We got some Ella confessionals. We got some Alejandro confessionals, and he was at Tribal, which was amazing. We got some good Jenny content. So I feel like this was a really good building episode for a lot of people that didn't get to shine in the first couple, like who maybe didn't film as much in the first weeks or, didn't just make the edit as much. And I think it was also a really good growth episode for the people that we have already been seeing content from. So I think, overall, really well-rounded. Like, I think we got really good character moments and story moments from pretty much everybody. So that was really cool to see.
I mean, what a start, too, with Jenny coming out of the gate. Like, I feel like is there going to be a girls' alliance is a running joke on Survivor Maryland. And for Jenny to come out the door, just like naming it within like the first 10-ish minutes and being like, yeah, there's a girls' alliance. I'm with the guys. I thought was just like, what a line. But yeah, I thought, dare I say this was a boring episode for season 12? But yeah, I agree with Akshay. I think the play at the end should be Alejandro was more red herring than anything.
I mean, in my opinion, I think College Survivor is so back, baby. I love when I think people are making bad moves because these are young adults. They're figuring life out. They're making bad choices, and they're making bad choices within the context of the game of Survivor, which I think is so fun. And going off of what Jacq just said, Jenny names like, oh, there's these three girls, like they're definitely like a tight trio. They definitely hang out all the time. I want to vote out Alejandro or Adam. And obviously we have the context later that they make a 6-person alliance. But I just think it's so funny when people have correct reads and they're just like, that's so nice.
There
I love
was
that for them.
so much of that this episode too.
Ooh, swears. Okay.
Sorry, it felt like everyone was just so far apart.
Now we can hold hands.
Now we can everyone hold hands. Well, let's start with Cassava just because they didn't go to tribal, but like we got a lot from them. I mean, like,
can I just say, I have never been more upset a tribe did not go to tribal than when Cassava won immunity at this challenge.
I agree, actually. I
I
fully
wanted
agree.
the Cassava storyline. Give me that sweet potato or whatever the hell Cassava actually is. I wanted all of that and more.
I need Donovan to have some time to cook a little.
Yeah. And it's not like
I do not want Daniela to go home. I do not want Daniela to go home.
No, not at all.
They went immediately
Also true.
in this episode. Daniela's dead. That's my opinion of it. Like,
I think Daniela giving the context that she was drunk at that tribal made so many things make so much more sense.
So much more sense.
I will say, like, just top of the episode when she said that, and I was like, okay, Queen, you're so. Oh my God, hi, Adam.
oh, we'll get to you. We'll get to you. Don't
Yes,
worry.
we will.
This king.
To me, it's like it shocks me every time that a player comes to tribal drunk, especially Daniela, who was there for drunk tribal, where we had to cancel because someone got too drunk. Look, I think it's perfect college Survivor of like, oh, let's drink before tribal. Like that is a college student mindset. But as someone who has run and played games, the idea of coming there with an inebriated mind, like, oh yeah, I'll just get really mad or whatever. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Like,
Yeah.
and
to be the only one too. Like if it is a full drunk tribal, that's one thing. If you're like, oh, we're all gonna get drunk, we're all gonna do this. But if it's just you, like I don't know.
Yeah, why are we doing this?
Yeah. It's just like I said, it's another one of those, like I love it as a fan because it's like I know you're gonna be an idiot the entire tribal. As a player, I would be losing my mind. Like, how could you even think? Erin knows how big of a drinker I am, so it never crossed my mind when we were at Michigan. But yeah, so everything you saw, that was me. I don't need alcohol to be like that. But just what were you thinking? Like, why? Especially if you like didn't think you had the numbers, which like I guess Danielle thought she did, but she thought it might have been like a 5-4 or 6-3. Like, do you really want to be drunk at that tribal? Like an important tribal that could decide the numbers? That's the one you made? Okay. I mean, it was entertaining. Like I said, terrible in the game, but so entertaining.
I'm so thankful that she decided to show up to tribal council drunk because there were so many things that happened afterwards with the things that she was saying. Obviously, when Courtney fessed up to being the one that flipped, she was like, well, yeah, it was really obvious. Yet 10 seconds before, she was like, you were acting shady, Donovan. Was it you? And he's like, no. And she's like, oh, okay. So I'm like, what do you mean it was obvious? You just accused Donovan 10 seconds ago. And then the whole, do you know what 5 is?
That's
Killed
awesome.
me.
And that is awesome for her to do, to be also really demeaning after being on the wrong side of the vote. But
so good. And then Courtney was just like, I don't know what to do.
Doing that all in front of the minority people, of like the other people outside
majority
the
people. You're the minority.
Yeah, majority people. Like, but doing that in front of like Sean and Lily and Ella, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, at least give it a beat.
it's also I think it's so interesting where it's like Lily got really offended on Courtney's behalf. It's like or Ella did especially, and it's like this isn't about you. Why? Hey, what are you taught? When it's like I can't believe Danielle would do that. She wasn't yelling at you. Who cares?
No, Sammy, I think definitely had a right to be upset with Daniela, but
Sure.
Everybody else, yeah.
Yeah, I made a note that Ella said Courtney was so unnerved by what Daniela did, and it just cuts to Courtney turning to the camera and just smiling. Like, yes, she's very unnerved. Yes.
I mean, it was definitely an uncomfortable smile, to be fair.
It's an uncomfortable smile for sure. you know, I love that Ella had a chance to speak her mind and say things this episode.
So
So
true.
Yes, we love that Ella
Anders loves
existed.
Ella.
I don't like Ella. I don't like her. And in this episode, I was like, shut up, Ella. You don't speak for Courtney. You don't know anything.
hey, but she knows how to play the game to get herself
No,
apparently
she
in
doesn't.
a trio.
No, she doesn't. She literally is in that trio. She is there by coincidence. She has done less to earn that trio than Sammy has.
She bought a bus ticket to go on the bus with them. I don't know.
My favorite thing that she did say in her confessional was she was like, Sammy definitely earned my respect after what he did at Tribal.
Yeah.
I was like, in what world? I was like, what Tribal were you watching?
Yeah, anyways, Ella's still on my shit list. Frankly, I don't want them to go to Tribal until they get in their heads that Ella needs to go. We did.
Who will say more words? Michaela in season 8, Ella in season 12.
At least Michaela was right sometimes.
Now, Mother Michaela was right every single time, and I will die on that hill.
No.
Every time's a little crazy.
She's amazing.
We did talk about like the Andy Courtney split. Was it planned? Was it not? We do get confirmation in this episode. Courtney was sort of the moment, I'm going to do this. Andy recognized that and made a move. And for that, we can give Andy credit of like, this was really smart. And the way that he is sort of handling everything. I mean, what a fucking killer episode for Andy, truly. Of just like, hey, here's my read on the situation. This is what I did. And this is how it will help me and Courtney navigate the game. Courtney, you can look at with like, maybe a little short-sighted, but it's going to work out for her. I mean, where are our feelings on that duo and the next time on where at this point, after she's already told you she has a boyfriend, you're like, it's kind of like a date. Whoa, Andy, what are you talking about? You're being weird now. What are our views on that duo?
I mean, I think it was good that they didn't vote together. I mean, I'm glad that Andy kind of recognized what Courtney was going to do to make like the best strategic move for him. I felt like he was spilling a little too much when he talked to Sean. And I was like, like you're saying you don't want to paint yourself as this big threat, yet you're spilling your entire game plan to a guy who's wearing a Survivor shirt while talking to you. It just didn't seem... I mean, obviously he has to explain to some context why he did what he did, but it just seemed like yeah, you made a great move, but I feel like Lily and Sean, they're clocking it.
100% agree. Yeah, I had the same thought of like, I think Andy has a great strategic mind, right? Like he is good at this game. He understands what's happening and he is placing himself super well, but he's also exposing himself. Like, yeah, in his conversations, he's saying way too much. He's putting it out there like, hey, okay, whoa. But he's like, he's just putting it all out there. He's like, hey, this is how I'm thinking about the game. I want to keep in other people that are thinking about the game this way, which like I think is a respectable thing, but you don't say it to people who are trying to just drag along extra votes and who are going to be targeted by the other side while you get to ride the middle. Like he's literally saying Lily was 100% spot on. Like, yeah, she clocked him when she was like, yeah, he's using us because he wants to have options. Like that's why he did what he did. And he's making it so obvious. But I think, yeah, I'm glad that I think it was a good move on both him and Courtney. I think both of them did the right thing. I think Courtney fessing up there when Daniela was yelling at her, I think was the natural reaction. I don't know I think maybe everyone should have just shut up and just waited to actually have that conversation later. But I think that she obviously handled it well, and Donovan is still willing to lay down his life for her for some reason. So I think they're both still in really good spots despite their kind of missteps and everything. But yeah, I love them as a duo. I fear, feelings are going to get in the way. But right now, I think that they're a perfect balance of like Andy is the strategic and Courtney is the social. And they like work together really well that way.
I almost hope Courtney also takes notes of the way Andy explains things to her. I think Andy is able to so clearly articulate his strategy that we see in his confessionals, which and understand the reasoning. And I think if they were to, let's say, make it far in this game and Courtney were to make it to FTC, I don't know that she could articulate the strategy with that clarity. I mean, given her, it seems like lack of knowledge about the game going before. I don't think she is a person like Katie on who's like taking detailed notes along the step of the way. But if she can like remember some of these key details, and if Andy does get, because he's overexposing, targeted as a threat, and she does make it further, I think if she has these nuggets that he left her, that she could articulate a really nice case.
Yeah, we got Courtney, who's got 2 people willing to die on their sword for her, and I'm not really sure what's caused it. I think she's just been a nice person. And we've got Andy, who just word vomits to every person he talks to, whether he wants to work with them or not. And like it worked with Sean in that conversation where, you know, I guess Sean just like, I think Sean just liked the fact that him and Lily were included as in a couples alliance more than anything, if I'm being honest. And he just heard me and Lily together. Yes. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll take that alliance of 4. Whereas Lily just, like Erin said, fully clocked his ass and was just like, no, like that's dumb. Why would we eliminate Ella and Sammy because it's numbers? Yeah, like hell yeah, it's numbers. I want numbers. This is a game about numbers at this point, especially. So I'm worried that Andy's overplaying a little too early, especially like I do think it was smart the way he played that vote. I don't love that he did that without talking to anybody. It worked out for him, but I think like Sean said right at the beginning of his conversation, it kind of got glossed over. It was like, we have trust. We weren't at the same level we were at that point. And that stuff isn't too big yet, but it will build up as the game goes on. Especially because I see Sean, Andy, Lily, Courtney all making it pretty far in the game. That could be, you know, a potential to blow everything up in the future, but that's far in the future. Right now, I think he's doing good, but he could be doing a lot better. Even the good players are being messy. What's surprising in this season?
I will say, I don't think you're giving Sean enough credit because I don't think he was just like going along with it, like jumping into whatever alliances with Andy. I think he is also seeing those as options. Like his options are going with Andy or Courtney, or they're going with Ella and Sammy. And he sees Sammy as a liability. He's, you know, because he is. You don't know what he's going to say. And I think that was like, he raised a very valid concern about that of like, listen, we tell anything to Sammy, everybody's going to know. And I think that is completely valid. So I think that I think that he was obviously buying into what Andy was saying a little bit more than Lily was, but I don't think he was just like, you know, doing take me as an ally, like I'll do whatever for you. I do think he does have some actual, like, he has a good head on his shoulders.
I kind of view I think you guys are absolutely spot on about the Andy and Courtney are a very good duo and well-rounded. My view is that Sean and Lily are kind of like a seesaw in that they're never on the same page of like great reads. One of them always has to have worse reads than the other. Like before it was Lily didn't want to work with Sammy because he was being weird and flirty. And Sean was like, no, that's great. We can really utilize it. Mm-hmm. And now it's Sean being like, well, you know, Andy didn't really vote with us, but like, I want to hear him out and maybe we consider getting rid of Sammy or something. And Lily's going, no, he's trying to use us and make it so he has all the power. I think that's very fun about their duo. And also it's so funny how it's like Andy's interest in Courtney is so like one-sided, and then the Sean and Lily is just so messy and like the preview for next time where it's like Chloe is flirting with Sean is just like, what is going on? You guys are fucking insane. I love it.
Which is also Chloe and Lily are like friends, right?
Yes, after that first night where Chloe's like, here, I'll bring you in. Lily, this episode really impressed me as well, where it's like she did see through absolutely what Andy's doing. And let's be clear, Andy wasn't hiding it well. He's really coming from the JS school of telling you exactly what he's going to do. But somehow Sean was like, sounds good, my dude. You're right. Sammy should go. He's my number, but I should get rid of him. And Lily's like, no, what the fuck? Which is weird because in episode 1, Sean was the one that's like, Andy's trying to make a deal with me. I don't know you. That's so weird of you. What are our takes on Sean and Lily?
Well,
besides being a couple.
Jacq, were you triggered at all by the words JS being uttered just now?
I'm okay. JS and I are like we catch up from time to time too. Like I respect. I think I still keep my position that like I think Daniela yelling at the start of this episode, I'm like, why can't, like, remember that we are people outside, like, can we treat human beings with respect, I think is more my mindset. So I found the Daniela yelling at the beginning of the episode more triggering than hearing JS's name. totally respect him as a person and enjoy every time I get to hear from him.
Love.
But back to, I guess, how do we feel about Bohan and Lily? I'll be honest, I was there. I was on campus for the season, and it was on crew. I remember very little of the season, except for this, like, how do you, like, manage that this, like, they're in a relationship, but they're playing, and then it's all these things happening all at once. I'm like, it just reads messy, and I'm like, okay, like, I think there's some grace maybe we have to give Lily as a freshman, but also like her reads of the game are like, you are really smart. What about you thinks that this is a good idea? And yeah, just hoping that these two come to their senses and choose one relationship to pursue, whether it's the romantic one or the game one, personally.
See, Jacq and I come from very different schools of hosting. Jacq's like, I want everyone to feel respected, and I want everyone to, really focus on just keeping it a game. I'm like, dating? Yeah, please, and fight about it. And yeah, if you want to yell at Tribal, I'll give you a fucking megaphone. So I just think that's so funny to be like, I just wish they could be all treating each other like people. I'm like, I'm glad they aren't, frankly, be meaner.
Anders, I think you asked me in every single confessional I had with you about who I was attracted to on the season 8 cast, and I'm like, I'm in a
Did I? That seems insane. I don't remember that at all. Also, this is such a funny look. I feel like we've seen the glimpses of JS School of Survivor from Andy. Andy's just better at not being. I think without a lot of returners there, Andy can't be fully insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To go back to your question, though, Anders, to the Sean and Lily of it all. Yeah. It's a very interesting dynamic in the sense that, like, you're right. Like, in one hand, one has good reads and the other one doesn't, and then they switch. And I wonder how long that's going to go. We will discover over the course of discussing this season that I am a Lily stan. She's my winner pick. But like I fully see Sean being the one sacrificed first in that relationship because they're like, he's a big physical threat. And Lily going on this, like, holy crap, that was a reality check, but also revenge tour. Oh, wait, sorry, horrible term. But like,
yeah, she's gonna go on her Survivor Michigan revenge tour.
Survivor Michigan revenge tour. But yeah, no, but like that's again far in the future. I just like the way they're playing right now when it's just the two of them. I think they play like I said, they interact with each other really well. They play off each other really well. I think they're gauging different things from conversations with the same people, which is always a good thing. The problem becomes when the two of them end up in a group, because we've seen them in one group setting and we've seen them in a preview for another group setting, and both of them were absolutely terrible for both of their games. So we'll see how that relationship, situationship, showmance, whatever the heck they want to end up calling it, ends up going. But right now, obviously, it's the classic. They're putting a target on their back, but they're also in the majority of multiple alliances. So I think they're good for the long haul. And like I said, as long as they keep interacting the way they do one-on-one, they're going to be completely fine. If they keep interacting the way they're going to do as groups, they are going to be targeted very soon.
I think together they are a really good pair, but I do think if one of them leaves, the other is going to be just mazed and confused.
Stop.
Right.
We're just triggering Erin in every way right now, is what we're doing.
Look, I just think that on this tribe, they are among the leaders and best.
Say
You got
Victor's
another one?
valiant. I dare you.
And when they win, Victor's valiant.
Boom.
Now tie in
then-
Wolverine Wars.
Wolverine wheel, yeah, exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
Jacq?
No way to get that one.
I think Lily and Sean are going to fall into the romantic pitfalls of it all and not be like the strategic duo that I want them to be. I really want Lily to take a page out of the Survivor Boston, Palamedes, Anissa, Big H playbook and just really take this game by the reins. But I fear it's already too late. Like, it's just the public perception of them is just too much. And I just don't think unless one of them were to leave, the other could actually do well.
I was going to say, I disagree with what you said, Anders, about how if one of them leaves, the other person is going to be dead in the water. I think you said that.
I
was
believe
saying
you
that for the
said-
joke, but
I
Mazed and
said mazed and
confused?
I meant more like they're going to be in a tougher position. Like, I think right now, together, they make a very powerful duo with a lot of control. Without one of them, I think they have to struggle a lot more. I don't think they're dead in the water. But
I'm going to be honest. I think Sean would struggle without Lily. I think Lily would thrive without Sean. because I think that he is the reason that she has like a target on her back. But everything everybody says about Lily is, I love Lily. She's so sweet. Like, she's a great person. And she's like, I'm afraid that my strategic side's going to come out. I'm afraid that people are going to notice that I'm actually a big target. And I think people are less likely to do that if there's no Sean around, because right now they're like looking at this like, oh, this is a scary duo. But without Sean, they would just be like, oh, that's Lily and she's awesome.
Yeah. I think where I'm coming at it from is like, neither of them is trying to play the other. They're trying to play together.
Yeah.
And I think in that way, every move they're making is trying to benefit both of them. I think, for instance, if Lily left, Andy would scoop up Sean, but Andy will use Sean in a way that's hard for Sean to necessarily like counterattack. And Lily, I think, would have the pick of the litter of allies, but I think will constantly be sort of superseded in what's going to happen. Like, I see Lily being more of a a tag along than like a leader in a lot of these situations. Only because I think Sean respects a lot of what she's saying, where a lot of people might not, because she's a freshman girl, they might listen but not like let her lead, if that makes sense.
I hope that's not true, but
that's my perspective.
I think that's to their own detriment. I can see them fully underestimating Lily as this like tiny, freshman girl, whereas she, like, I think every confessional she's been in, she is a thinker. She is like very strategic in the way she thinks about this game, with the exception of Sammy. But I assume there's a lot of, backstory on that one, so I'll give her a pass. But like I said, I think I don't know if the wolf in sheep's clothing is the right term, but I think they're severely underestimating her, and I think they're going to continue to. And I think they'll do that even more if Sean is gone. Like Erin said, the only reason she's a target right now is because they're a duo.
Let's talk about.
I think Lily's also persuasive. I think there's a way where she might have these like subtle hot takes and like just ankle that it's like, hey, well, wouldn't that be dumb? And like release like the actual truth of like Pascal's trying, or not Pascal, Andy's trying to ride the middle, like, and convince other people that it's their idea. I think she could maintain that and still have that cheap appearance.
I think that's definitely true. I would fear for Lily's chances to actually win the game if she did not have someone who like would listen to her. And that's just my thought these 3 episodes in. Let's talk about Sammy. So as we all know, Sammy earned our trust because he was so good at tribal. I mean, he really played that idol or that advantage really well.
Because people kept pocket dialing him.
I hate when people pocket dial me for 20 minutes.
No, but FaceTime.
Yes, but FaceTiming.
And they might have given me something at a diner. I don't know why they're saying that. It's crazy.
I don't know why everyone's saying that I got it from this person. Frankly, I think Andy's call to be like, we should get rid of Sammy is great. It's exactly the right move. And I think we talked about it at the end of last episode. Like, that's the killer move to make. Sammy's going to be loyal to Sean and Lily. And let's be honest, he's not exactly making inroads with a lot of other people, at least not well. Even the people on the other tribe, like, is Kate like, I've got to work with Sammy now? Or is she like, Sammy's a great leak, but what an idiot. I think that Sammy is lucky to still be around, and now even the metal poles on campus. I'm a little bit. I'd like Sammy or Ella to go next. Hot take from me.
I think.
I'm so shocked to hear that.
Yeah, I think Sammy's demeanor in this episode is like, it was a full 180 from what it was the past couple episodes. Like, Kid got immunity and suddenly is like, oh, I am the king of this game. Like, what he wanted happened. And so he's like, oh, well, I want Daniela out next. High fives, everybody. And he's sitting in his confessional chair. He's like talking like he owns the game, which I think is awesome. First of all, I love that from him. However, I think he still lacks such a conception of what's actually happening. But I think he really thinks he knows exactly what's happening. And I think it's just such an interesting dynamic to watch. But I do think, I think that he's pretty in trouble because he serves no purpose to, like, he should at least connect with like Courtney, and be like, oh, you just saved me. Should we maybe be close allies? But it seems like he's not doing that. So I think he's continuing. Like, he got saved by other people. He didn't get saved by work that he put in. Quite literally, somebody from the other tribe handed him safety. And Sean on his tribe was like, Sammy going is not good for us. Let's make something else happen. But I think that he just has this, like, he got saved by doing nothing and by other people. And so now he's just continuing to do that. Like, oh, what I did worked, so I'm going to keep doing nothing. But now he's going to have a big head about it.
He has a lot of potential girlfriends, but he's sticking with his one true love with Lily. And I think that's really admirable of him.
I'm sorry, did what Sammy wanted to happen? Like, did Sammy do anything to get it to be, oh
no, that's what I'm saying.
Whatever the end of your sentence is, no, he didn't.
He didn't,
Yeah,
I
like,
mean, no, and I guess he wanted Daniela over Jason, but...
Yeah, like, Sammy didn't do anything, frankly. Well, he ruined it. Yeah, I'm just saying it's like, the idea that Sammy had anything work out for him is just so funny when it's like, King, you did nothing.
Yeah. But he sure is acting like it's his game to lose at this point.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Also, this comment from Adam is frying me. Adam, we'll get to you. And I just can't, I don't believe this to be true.
I don't
I
either.
don't think so.
Adam, come on.
You had a read on your tribe, which I think was a really good read. It's just unfortunate that your tribe also played like shit at points. Oh.
Hi, Lily.
Yeah, I bet.
Also, I feel like people just glossed over the fact that he used the term threesome for everything with the three of them also.
Oh, yeah, no, it was discussed.
He saw Lily and went, we're in a threesome.
I'm not answering that one at all, for sure.
Yeah, any other thoughts on Sammy, our kingpin, really, of Cassava?
I expect him to be the next one out of Cassava.
Please. Let's talk about our other person in danger, Daniela. Look, queens sometimes fall, but they rise again. And sure, she's had a pretty bad performance so far. And that's really the end of that sentence. I mean, like, what do you want? It's like the way that Pascal is playing the game is just so much better than Daniela. It really makes me go, what did you learn from the first two times you played? Because it ain't working. How is it that she doesn't have a relationship with half of her tribe, and despite being on the minority side, is just being mad? Girl, get your head in the game and make some fucking alliances. Like, the fact that Andy's putting in all this work to save her, that's great. Maybe she should try some of that.
I mean, I had the luxury of playing an online Survivor game with Daniela, I think the fall after the season was filmed. And I was in a 3-person alliance with her, and we did not talk to anybody else. So maybe that's just her MO.
As someone who played season 10 with her, and she got voted out first. I don't know how many spoilers, but maybe that is her MO.
I mean, yeah, honestly, it kind of is, because in her original season, she only hung out with Dylan and Alex. And now I don't know what happened when All-Stars, but she got voted out first. So theoretically, you should change up your game. I know if I ever was coming back after being an All-Stars first boot, this season was created for me. I would be playing very different. And maybe it's a case of Alex Pascal, who's apparently the chameleon from Tangled now, because everyone calls him Pascal, is like, I think the fact that he had a large gap, he played one season right after another, and that didn't work in season 5. He tried to play the same game. And then he has a large gap, long time to just think about what he could fix. Whereas Daniela did season 6, season 10 happened probably like 2 semesters previous, right? So she's had less than a year to think about things. Should she still have very much changed everything about what she's doing? Yes. Did she? I don't think so. But I wonder if getting I know I was emotionally just destroyed getting voted out first in All-Stars. And I wonder how much of that is Daniela getting drunk when she could potentially have been going home was hey, I have an excuse now if I go home. I was drunk, whatever this first, I think she might be more emotionally affected by that first boot at All-Stars than people might realize, just because like I said, I know firsthand that emotionally shattered me. I didn't want to think about Survivor the rest of the semester. Even though I
And
can't
you know what?
help
Based
with
on watching that
production.
season, I don't blame you.
Literally after Erin got voted out, I don't think I came to anything. So like the only reason I kept going was because of her. But it's just like one of those things where it's like I don't I get why she wanted to play. I told Erin this. I wanted to try and convince people to make season 8 like a returnee season just for first boots, just so I could come back. Was that ever gonna happen? No, but like that's kind of where no, we need redemption. That can't be the way it ended. But I don't think she was ready yet. I think she needed a little bit more time before coming back, if that was even a possibility.
I think. Oh, go ahead, Jacq.
I was going to say this was Danielle's senior season, so in terms of possibility, I think it was a now or never moment. I almost wonder though if she tried really hard in 10 and that didn't work, and she knew I think she was coming back as a threat with a big personality, being one of 2 returners, and I almost wonder if the drunkenness was a mask of oh, I'm not playing that hard, like you said, but also to her tribe of do not perceive me as a threat. Oh my gosh, I only talk to these people. I'm not one of those people going out there and scheming. But I think we've seen that approach doesn't always work. And then sometimes you do need to just lean in and embrace it. That yes, I understand I have this experience, and here's me imparting my knowledge, especially on some of these young, impressionable freshmen. I mean, also one of her tribe, Ella, who is arguably doesn't know too much about this game. I feel there are people out there
arguably.
Yeah. Maybe be able to add some more numbers to her repertoire.
Jackie, you're going to be the nicest host. You're not going to call anyone out on anything. You just arguably didn't know too much about the game. It was the nicest way I could ever hear Ella's game knowledge described.
Look, I just want to say this, that I think generally, if you are a returner coming into a newbie season, I don't think there is a too much. I think, honestly, people don't know how to play the game. They are inherently just a little bit afraid to really get into it. When you come in and you're just incredibly gregarious and social and talking to them, they'll trust you even if they might not long term. It's that will get it. That's why Katie and the Sababa returnees were so successful, is they immediately connected with every newbie and really got into them, which is why, to go back to season 8, the whole Winnick vote episode was insane because every newbie liked one returner. So there was no consensus. Meanwhile, on Majesta, Mike and Eggroll and Faith just didn't do a good job of actually getting the newbies to like them. They worked on Meisner. What?
I said not too much on Faith.
Not too much on Faith, but they put a lot of effort into Meisner and he quit.
Example of overplaying.
Yes.
Faith found every single advantage. Spent so many hours, I feel every waking moment I had a text from Faith on my phone. It was just I think there is a fine line here.
That's my queen.
But I think Danielle is just way on the other end and could be brought back more towards the middle.
I just think that the reason that Majesta was so anti-returnee is because I think Faith was such a big target and only kept getting more powers and was anyways, ladies, here's what we're gonna do. And I think it was just they were not a united force or really that charismatic of a group to get all of you before JS was I'm gonna do it. I think Daniela coming in and just relying on this group of 5 is stupid because it's dumb. It is dumb, and it's shown that it didn't work. But she should have tried to get in with Sean and Lily at least, because even if you're not going to vote with them, they'll still be but it's an Andy situation. You didn't vote. It's just it is so short-sighted, and I'm sure there's trauma from getting voted out first, but maybe you're back. So figure it out, or you can go home first again.
Exactly. And I think there was such a she didn't put in the work beforehand, obviously, but then if nothing else, that tribal just should have been a wake-up call. Oh, I'm not doing I'm not doing enough. Clearly this is out of my hands. But instead of, collecting that and taking that and being oh, I should change something up, she yelled at everybody. Like Sammy said, made 3 enemies in one night. I think that Courtney's probably not actually that mad, but I
Girl, her enemies she made in that night were Sammy and Ella. Talk about who cares.
No, I know.
Oh,
but
God.
But then what got me was her conversation with Donovan of like, okay, well now it's 4-4. Who do we think we can flip? And she was like, oh, well, I think our best bet is Courtney, but that's not really a good bet. It's like, you're just going back to exactly what you were just doing. You're just like, let me pick up the exact same people who just flipped on me for no, like, instead of changing things up, instead of being like, looking at this tribal and being like, who made that happen? Who actually has the power here?
Oh, she's going to jail.
Have fun at court. Don't go to prison.
She said thank you to my fans, so I'm just taking that as a thank you directly to me personally.
Wow.
But no, I just think that like I wish she would have seen that as a wake-up call instead of literally, not talking to anybody who just voted against her. And I'm pretty sure there even was a conversation when they were thinking about voting Daniela of like, well, we don't want to deal with blindsided Daniela because she's going to be a nightmare. And she was a nightmare to Courtney. But other than that, it's like, what is so scary about this when she's literally just trying to pick up the pieces and put them together exactly the same way she just had them when they fell apart?
And it's funny because like for like a second I thought she had learned because she was just like, and I was not in my right state of mind last night. And I was like, oh, she was drunk. Okay. So I was like ready to give her a pass of like, okay, that was drunk Daniela. Like she wasn't in the right state of mind, but now she knows. And then just immediately I'm like, oh, you're relying fully on just Courtney and Andy and just not interacting with anyone else again, even though they just burned you. Great plan. Love it. Good idea. So yeah, I don't know what's going through her mind, but if it keeps going like this, it's going to be Sammy and then her, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and Pascal's just, running circles around her. That's really the Michigan difference. So let's any other final thoughts?
You just got to get the Wolverines in. Those are the only two left.
Any other thoughts on Cassava before we move on to our Tribe of the Hour? Great. See you in hell. Yoshi. First of all, I love that we're finally getting Jenny content. Her first confessional in the first episode, I was like, Queen.
Agreed.
And then on nothing else that episode, and I was like, oh no, she's invisible. She comes back and she's like, I love Pascal and CJ. I don't like hanging out with the girls though. I go, okay, that's not something you want to say.
And then she hit a home run.
But
she did hit a home run
with bread.
It's so funny how this tribe is so just like, you can see the divisions and they just don't care. It's the three girls, the queens, the witches, and then it's Pascal, CJ, and Jenny, fellas, and then you have Alejandro living in a world where no one respects him and treats him like a fucking idiot, and then Adam, who's there like, I'm so sorry for fucking up my game and talking to Jacq. Let's talk about our boys, Pascal, CJ, and Jenny. I think it's so funny that Pascal and CJ just really give nothing emotion-wise, and they're always just around, but they're like, anyways, we should do this. They kill me. They really are just like two dudes in a tribe of basically just women.
I will say, yeah, I loved the Queen Jenny content, obviously. What I really loved was she gave us our first piece of like positive TOV about Alejandro. She was like, I really like Alejandro. I think he's a really cool guy. And I was like, hell yeah, Jenny, you get it. I was like, this queen, she doesn't miss. And I really appreciated that. But yeah, I think what I thought was so interesting, like a lot about this dynamic, right? This whole Kyoshi dynamic, I think is really interesting. But the two things that stick out to me the most were Chloe saying, we usually look to CJ and Pascal to see what they want to do and see what and I'm like, girl, you're the one running this game, Chloe. Like, you are the godfather here. You are the one making everything happen. I don't know what you think you're looking to these guys for, but I thought that was crazy. And then Taylor's view of the group at the beginning of the episode, when she was looking at the Alliance of Six, she was like, so I see it as, obviously CJ and Pascal, and then I think Jenny and Chloe are really close. And I was like, we have not seen that from anybody else. That cannot be true. But I thought that was crazy that's how Taylor was like breaking down the group. And she was like, and I would really like to get close to Kate. And I was like, that's what you think the duos are? Like, okay, Queen, sure.
Just a real shot in the dark. And you know what? Fuck it. Chloe and Jenny are probably a type duo.
I'm like, what are we doing here?
I would like to see it,
Yeah,
but
I agree.
No, I'm not gonna lie. When Jenny came, I think like it was you could hear Pascal's voice. Jenny was in the frame, and there was like a roommate that wasn't playing in the background, and I legitimately had no idea which one of them was Jenny. I was like, one of these two plays the game. Which one is it? And then she hit a home run, and they kept focusing on her. I was like, it's probably her. And like,
Jenny.
so at the beginning of this episode, I was like, who's Jenny? At the end of this episode, I'm like, let's go, Jenny. Come on, Jenny. Like that's what I wanted. You know, like it was a great episode for her, especially like you said, Anders, like she kind of disappeared the last couple episodes. And I found it so strange because like maybe this was like kind of hidden a tiny bit of like how in control, or at least how the perception of CJ and Pascal was amongst the women, because when like Erin said, when they were just like, yeah, CJ and Pascal are kind of guiding, you know, our decisions. I was like, since when? What? Like, I thought you three girls came together and went like, hey, Jake's a snake. Hey, this guy sucks. And like, I thought that's what was going on. So when did CJ and Pascal get all like, great for CJ and Pascal that's the perception they got when sitting and doing nothing. Good place to be in. Especially like I think Pascal was probably always going to be in that situation. Maybe CJ's just being associated with him, but I guess we see at the end of the episode they do still have a good chunk of influence on this tribe. But how long will that continue after this vote? We'll see.
I'm like guessing it's kind of a result
from
of
the moment of the teams being drafted.
Go Queen.
Okay, thanks, Jacq. I was gonna say, yeah, from the moment they being drafted and CJ or Pascal saying CJ by name, well, everyone else is, oh, you in the scarf, you in the beard. I'm like, that should have been red flag number one. And the fact that these women are still letting them be like, guide, I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, they're probably like, please pick up on the details that why is it that CJ knows more about Pascal's life than you should for having only been playing this game for 10 days together. Like, I'm just hoping that something like clicks soon and that these women take the control that they rightfully deserve at right now.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I didn't realize like how close they were just based on like crew or like being involved in Survivor Maryland. What I was assuming led them to being sort of on top of the tribe was Adam fumbling with the whole trying to save Jake, to specifically CJ, Adam, and Jenny. And because they were the ones who had that info, it kind of just strengthened their positioning in the group. That was just my assumption with like how they're in power, but not quite sure. I don't know.
You know,
people just like men. I don't know.
I do think it's interesting that in the tribe, it's like Alejandro and Adam, I think to so many of them are just so unreliable that if you're the three girls, obviously you trust each other, but Pascal and CJ are just kind of, how do I say this in the nicest way? I mean, they're just very level-headed and clear. Like, you never really question what they're thinking because you don't really view them as overly strategic or like emotional or anything. So when they have a perspective, it's like, okay, let's take that in. As opposed to Adam or Alejandro, you're like, well, I don't really know about that. But it is interesting because the three girls, Kate, Chloe, and Taylor, are just so dynamic and interesting to be like, yeah, and we listen to what Pascal and CJ want. Jesus Christ. It really is that thing where it's like, this girl you know is the most interesting person in the world, just so fun to be around, wonderful. And then she's got the most boring boyfriend. And she's like, it's my one. You're true. One what? What are you talking about? Oh my God. No offense. This is not a read on CJ and Pascal, but it is kind of like, they're interesting. Well, Pascal's very interesting. CJ is unfortunately giving me blank wall. But there's worse things to be on this season, like Ella.
Oh my goodness. She's just a girl.
If like the three of them together turn to them as outside counsel in a way, because like if the three of them were to have opinions of their own, because they are each so big personalities in their own way, if that would break like just like the merriment of like we have a trio into like actually having colliding opinions, similar to a way in the winning vote in season 8. It's like, okay, when everyone has an opinion, like someone from that we want to be aligned with ends up going home because we can't come to a consensus.
And I think we did see a little bit of that from the girls this episode where like Adam suggests, oh, you should get rid of Alejandro because he's a number for them. And Taylor was on board, Kate was on board, and Chloe wasn't. And I think the two, there is that point where it's like they will disagree on those things. That doesn't make them wrong or easily influenced.
I have a question about that because I wonder if things would have been different if CJ and Pascal were not in the room.
Well, and
because she had no choice at that point. Also, the phone listening, their phone call listening on this season is going crazy.
It's killing me.
Everybody is listening to every call. It's insane.
I don't understand. That tribe especially is just such a nightmare with their phones. Baby, flush it down the toilet and meet in person.
I would not call. Yeah, I would call just to say, where are we meeting? Because I'm not like, if you sit in on that many calls, how many of your calls do you think are being sat in on? Like, what are you doing?
I mean, we need to go to the point where it's, online schooling, lockdown browser, FaceTime, pan around the room, make sure your environment's clear before we can have a strategic conversation. Because I was getting so frustrated with Chloe this episode, mainly because it's one thing to answer the first phone call, like with, CJ and Pascal in the room, because like, it's funny, haha, whatever. But then to hang up and then see that Kate, who I thought was like one of your closest allies at that point, and be like, hey girl, what's up? No one's here.
Right.
And then let Kate expose her. Like, what a horrible ally. If I found out that Chloe did that to me, she would be a goner. I was getting so frustrated because Chloe's just giving up so much of her agency. Like, she had this tribe.
Oh, stop it.
Like she was doing her thing. Like, she had a chokehold on this tribe, and then all of a sudden she's like, "We got me info."
That's the thing. It's like with Adam, sure, expose him. What are you going to do? Make his positioning worse? But it really is like, why are you doing this to Kate? You want this alliance of 6 to stick together. All you're doing is weakening it from both ends. You can know Kate doesn't want to be loyal, but by revealing that to Pascal and CJ, and then not getting rid of Alejandro, all you've done is hurt your own position. Because guess what? Kate will be targeted, and Pascal and CJ will know you were more likely to be against them than like Jenny will. It's so messy. But that's the thing about the trio of girls. I have faith that they'll be able to outmaneuver Pascal and CJ, because Pascal and CJ, like you guys said, are good to come with opinions, but they're not exactly making the moves to go around you. Like, they are just sort of a big pillar in the ocean, and you're the water around them that's moving. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that too of like, they presented it, the vote being Adam. Obviously, they gave their reasons for it, whatever. Taylor from the beginning was like, I would rather Alejandro go. Did she bring that up in the meetings? Did she, like, we didn't see any of that. So I'm like, are you just saying that you're being ignored, or did you even make your voice heard?
Pascal did tell her, like, oh, well, that Adam wanted you out.
Yes.
Right. But I think that wasn't, I think that was like adding to his pitch, but it wasn't saying like, oh, I don't think it was in response to her saying, I think we should do Alejandro. I think it was just like, because it was some conversation about like, oh, what was Adam? It doesn't matter what Adam does.
Right.
And just that entire situation. It's like, Chloe, you do two things. You either reject the call and text her and say, hey, can I call you right back? Or you answer the call and say, hey, me, Pascal, and CJ are all here, just so she knows in advance what this conversation is going to be. You have a BS conversation. They leave. Now you have a real conversation if you need to. Like, there's so many better ways of doing what you did, and you did exactly the wrong, like the number one most incorrect thing you could have done, unless we're completely wrong and somehow CJ and Pascal are her actual allies, and she feels closer to them for some reason, which I don't, nothing has suggested that to be the case.
I think that's fair, but also you can't, like, you have to discuss with your ally first, regardless, to make sure that you're on the same page before you go public.
Even if you think that's what's about to happen, you still got to be like, hey, me, Pascal, and CJ are here. You got to make it clear, like, if this is someone you trust, make it clear that, like, hey, we're all here listening to this conversation, just so that everyone knows in advance, hey, we're all listening to this conversation. Because the amount of times in season 1, I sat in on a conversation and then we would mute while the other person was talking and discuss how much BS was coming out of their mouth. It was a lot. They didn't all make the episode, but we did it a lot. So, like, just assume that someone is listening. all the time, yes, but like not when it's your closest ally. When
Also,
like,
I don't think you'll ever get a call from someone about like a conversation and be like, "Yep, nothing's changed." It's like they will text you, "Nothing's changed." If they're
Yeah.
gonna call you after a conversation, it's because they have new information. Like,
Yep.
it's just so weird to me that Chloe would do that. And yeah, I do think this episode was a hit on both Kate, Chloe, or on all three of them, on Kate, Chloe, and Taylor. Just like they're not getting the best reads, but I don't think they're in trouble yet. Because the thing about Alejandro is this episode, I felt bad for him. It's like
Yeah.
he did do the thing again where he just invited people for a full conversation, not telling them they were all meeting together. And then
He's iconic for that. I'm sorry. I need him to do that every episode. I need him here until Final Five, making new alliances, new surprise alliances.
Hey, he's a dynamic player. What can we say?
girl, and the fact that the way that they talked about it, it's like, yeah, this dumb piece of shit. We just go, okay, if you want to get rid of Adam, what an idiot, what a big dummy. Anyways, we talked for 5 minutes, I'm done. It's like, oh my god, why does everyone hate him again? It's like, I get it, maybe he's a little like weird, but it's
Because
so
he pretended
funny.
to sleep during the challenge. That's and
They
I guess
literally
his
hate
overall
this man for no reason.
It was really funny though when he was like, "My friend said Lily and Sean are a thing," and everybody was like, "Well, duh."
oh, we got in Wolverine wheel. Yeah,
Oh,
no, it was great, especially because like the lead into it. I was like, oh, what is this man about to say?
I know.
Like I don't even know if I'm allowed to say this. Like
It's-
looking around left and right, whispering.
It was so
They were
funny.
saying Sean and Lily were getting really close, and I was like, what?
And again, they treat him like such a piece of shit where they go, duh, everyone knew that, idiot. It's like, this guy has come to you with his little pasta painting or his like his little macaroni and cheese painting, and you went, this looks like shit, kid. I hate it. Why don't you make a real art? And just throwing it in the trash. It's like, okay, clearly he's in the outs, but he's coming to you with information. Like, what, you think he's telling it to other people? Baby, give a mouse a cookie here.
Well, he told
like,
that to the whole tribe at the same time.
yeah, but like, what?
That wasn't like an olive branch or anything. I think they are obviously being mean to him. They're being rude to him. But I don't think that his gameplay, if you can even call it that, necessitates anybody wanting to work with him, which I understand. Like, I understand people not wanting to work with him. They don't need to call him like dumb and stupid and everything like that, but nobody should want to work with him because what work is he doing? You know?
I think he's the easiest ally to have. You tell him let's do this, and he'll do it. Like he
Ella's the
kind of-
same way.
No, we're not talking about her. No, now Jacq, maybe you disagree with this. Alejandro feels like a Sam, but Sam felt like she was treated better than Alejandro for most of it. Like a lot more
Sam
care.
was. And I think both Sam and Alejandro both have equally like hot. Well, I guess Sam's hot takes were just kind of outlandish, so maybe I can't compare them. But like, it just breaks my heart when it's like you see people like Adam who want to be here, who are actually trying, who like know stuff about this game, go home, and it's just like we let like the Alejandros like of the world be like, oh, he's at least there for comic relief. He should continue, I guess. It's just sad to me, but it's been entertaining to watch. I also distinctly remember Alejandro's interview from the season. He was like just so dynamic, so fire. So to see it like him not play this game, like he could if his heart was there, is just like aggravating.
He's got a
Yeah.
DJ.
Every cast has those.
No, I
he
feel
honestly
like
gives me Exandria vibes from season 2.
Oh,
Everyone was mad at
Whoa,
her for
Christ.
delaying all these challenges and tribal councils or not showing up for things. Like that's kind of what it's giving. I feel
Well,
that
Hey,
was
he was
aired 11
at
years
tribal
ago.
this time.
And didn't
I-
answer a question.
I love how Drew was just like, "How do you feel at your first tribal?" And then he was just like asking him, and Alejandro was like, "Yes." And he's like, "You gotta give me more."
I like the fire.
Like the fire was so funny.
No, but like Queen Jacq, to clarify which one I'm talking about, is completely correct in the sense that
You're also a queen, Jacq.
in the sense that like people don't realize outside of College Survivor because they think CBS Survivor, but not being super into the game is like a very good reason to vote somebody out, and it happens a lot. Like I feel like in CBS Survivor, someone who doesn't care and is going to get 0 votes but is an easy vote, you're carrying them along as long as you possibly can because you know they're not only a loyal vote, but they're never winning anything. Whereas in College Survivor, when you see someone a lot more passionate, I feel like the fact that we're all human beings hits a lot more because we're all on the same college campus. We're all in like a 3 to 4 year age range, unless Dale is here. And so like it's all like, okay, we got the human being. We're probably going to be friends after this. We're almost certainly going to interact after this. You know, it's not just going to be like, great, we're not on an island anymore. Never need to see you again. So the vibe check does hit sometimes as a reason to vote someone off. And I would have loved, in the nicest way, I'm sure he's a great guy, but I would have loved Alejandro to go and Adam to stay, just because, I mean, even with his comments in this chat, you know, I can tell that Adam has a lot more passion about College Survivor and this season of Survivor than Alejandro ever will.
Well, that's how I feel about the Ella situation last time. That's exactly why I didn't like Ella. The difference is Alejandro, he's getting a lot of hate.
Is a man,
Yeah.
and Anders,
man.
and that's
And I'll
Anders'
stand by
only
it.
reason.
The only reason is because Alejandro is a man, yep, and not because Ella doesn't care about this game and isn't interacting with anyone, and isn't funny, frankly, and that's another thing. I'll have 100 Sams before I let one Ella exist. Anyways, I think that Adam played this episode as best as he could. I mean, truly, what is there to say? I said how I felt about Adam's episode 1. I was like, how dare you even try to talk to Jacq? What a foolish move. You see a rock just absolutely falling to the bottom of the ocean. You say, I've got to save this rock. And now you're at the bottom of the ocean drowning. And it's like, I'll give it to Adam. He really tried it, and he had a good read. Unfortunately,
Can I ask, did he try it before 2 hours before Tribal? Or is that when his work started?
well, Adam, if you want to answer,
Adam, that's my question to you. Because this is a
Before we
qualm
get
I
to-
have.
this is fun. So this comment's very funny, and then Pascal responded, "Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense because Pascal was blindsided at his first tribal council, so you could have those feelings towards Alejandro.
But Erin, to your defense, or to maybe Adam's defense, I feel like the amount of time that passes in terms of number of days is very unclear, because like scheduling these people is a nightmare, especially at the beginning of the season when there's just so many of them, that I'm like, maybe he only started 2 hours before, but maybe he only had 24 hours to pull this all together or something.
Actually, I
We
think
did
they
get it 2
clarified-
days from Tribal.
Yeah, you had
In the
48
episode,
hours.
yeah, they said 48 hours before Tribal, right after they lost the challenge. So
Fine. Ignore me.
No, but I appreciate the thought, Jacq.
I mean,
no, I mean, I appreciate you trying to defend Adam. Like, and you know, Erin, I didn't even think of that. You know, I was fully on the Adam hype train of like, yeah, look how well he did. He basically flipped 2 people and just needed to flip 1 more, and needed that person to not be in the same dorm room as 2 other people that were firmly against it. And he probably pulls off staying. And maybe that was the strategy. I know a lot of people try that strategy of like, let's cause chaos like right before Tribal because everyone will lose their mind. And I'm always like, no, start early and then cause chaos so that people already sort of are like getting your vibe. And then they're just like, wait, no, actually, I like this guy much better. They're already thinking about it before they're convinced. But Adam just said he was really, really busy. Okay, you know, like a little bit of a pass, but still, I think you should be texting every single waking moment that you have, especially if you're as
I'm swearing on his life and
Yeah.
lying. Also, the receipts in there was, oh my god, that was golden.
and also just being completely wrong. You're just like,
Yeah.
no, what do you mean? It was Pascal that said I would never. Oh, that's how you know he's lying, because I would never say such a thing.
Before the flashback, I believed him.
Yeah. And I was
like,
just
oh,
like, wait a minute. And then I saw the flashback. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Keep
after
going,
watching
dude.
the flashback, I went, whatever. You know what? Fucking lie. Who cares? This is dumb as
love
hell.
it. You're
I think-
trying to save your life. Say whatever you gotta say.
I think Adam was saying all the right things for sure, and I think he
Yeah.
was putting in the work that he needed to put in those conversations, and obviously it almost worked. But I think, that doesn't work without groundwork, which he did not put in beforehand. And I think that's what came back to him. Yeah.
Yeah. If Pascal did say Taylor's name first, I feel like that should have been the first thing he done was go to Taylor and say, like, hey, I heard your name from Pascal as a backup. Like, you're not getting votes, but like just as a backup. But I mean, clearly he couldn't do that because it was a lie.
That didn't happen.
I do think that, had Adam secured the votes to stay, which, would it have happened if Chloe wasn't in the room with Pascal and CJ? Possibly. I do think that Adam is not going to stay loyal to the girls. I don't think that Adam is a loyal, despite Adam destroying his own game for Jake. Again, crazy move.
Listen, I do it too.
Yeah, well, Erin, you haven't won a season, so that makes sense. Erin throwing away her game for a man? Color me shocked. But the point I want to make
away for Erin, just to be clear, it goes both ways.
I think that Adam's not really a loyal person, and I think had Adam had the power to get rid of Alejandro, he would have just tried to cozy up to Pascal and CJ probably again. What's this? I had to do something. Look, King, we're all on your side here. You can throw out whatever you.
Exactly.
Oh, no, the power went out in LA.
Jake? I'll be back eventually. All right. Hello.
You're back. Hello.
I just think that, like, Adam is not a loyal person to have stuck your neck out for. So, like, I get the instinct to be like, I think we got to cut him.
Yeah. And also, Kate is in Alejandro's alliance, so she can still use him as a number 2.
Oh, my. Yeah. Any other thoughts on our Kyoshi people?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the preview a little bit. Like from what I saw in the preview, especially because like you see the 3 girls going and feeling like, oh, we feel like we kind of got bullied into that result. I was like, first off, don't think Chloe got bullied into anything. Second off, even if you did, the other guy in your tribe's Alejandro. He's not coming with y'all. So you kind of screwed yourself over a little bit. It will be interesting to see, are they still a tight 6 that they definitely never were? Or is it, going to be a case of like, this is a 3-3 and Alejandro's in the middle, which would just be the biggest mindfuck.
That would be awesome.
I want to talk about Jenny again. If I could.
Go ahead, talk about her.
No,
because specifically her horrible challenge performance and how nobody cared. Because she was one of the worst callers I think I've ever seen in Survivor Maryland or Survivor history. Just the way there was a shot of her standing next to Donovan, who's like screaming his head off to his parent, and she's just like, and then somebody's asking Jenny, they're like, where do we go? And she's like, hold on, I have to help them first. Just like no sense of urgency, no volume, just everything about what she was doing was so iconic. And yet not one confessional of people being like, we should not have put Jenny as the caller. Jenny should not have done this. Jenny, blah, 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 blah.
Well,
it was 1 second away. Yeah. Like, that's what's incredible.
And Donovan was just like, go grab, there's a bag there. And Jenny was just like, that's a bag? I was just like, can you not see? Why are you the caller? What's going on?
I mean, it's dark outside. It was a very interesting setting for the blindfold challenge. Also, I'm sorry, can men not wear the pink shirts? Do the girls have to wear the pink shirts?
Yeah, I thought that was true, actually.
I imagine because of the lead time to get the shirts, and we didn't know what the tribes would be, it was, all right, to make it simple, we'll give guys one color and girls the other, instead of just giving them all the same color. But yeah, it did end up being confusing when you're like, wait, who's on what tribe? Because I see pink and orange, but then they've got a different band. It's like, well, I think it's interesting. But yeah, girls are pink and boys are orange, and we know that about gender.
Yeah,
and there's no other.
I just smiled and nodded throughout the whole challenge. And then again, I don't know what Survivor Maryland's obsession with having the blindfold challenge be a very close call every single time. For the most part, I feel like season 4, Guts and Glory, All Stars, and then New season Beginnings, 6. And then this one for I don't remember the other ones really.
There's more coming up too, where it's nail-bitingly close.
Why?
Season 8 didn't have that when it was the blindfold building. That one was pretty clear cut of who's going to win.
Yeah.
Oh, well, at least your variant for season 8 was very interesting. I liked it. So
Me too. I thought it was
I
fucking
liked
funny.
that with this photo finish, we got Doug and Santi cameos
They're back, and now they're married
to each other.
Wow.
to each other.
That's true.
Oh, this is a good question. Chloe's advantage. I was surprised by it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I think it's interesting. I'm like, whoa, what a weird advantage to get like right at the beginning. Like, oh, you can swap. Okay, der fuck.
No, literally, yeah, when they were talking about it and they were like, oh, yeah, this would be great in a swap, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Because, like, when I read it, I was like, that's useless.
Yeah,
Who would ever
literally.
do that?
Hey, you want to fuck up your? Hey, you didn't use the. I'm literally thinking, okay, I didn't use the safety on myself. I used it on the other side. So now I can jump to the other side. Why would I want to do that?
Right. Well, I guess you have an ally over there now with Sammy.
Yeah, one ally. What
and
the
it's
fuck?
Sammy.
That you gave immunity to. Yeah. Oh, I can be with the bestie who's at the bottom of their tribe. Oh my god.
Does she have to use it for herself, or can she like play it
I
and
wanted to know
swap
that
two
too.
people of her choosing? I don't
That's a great
remember.
question. And I guess I mean that's the fun thing. No, she did say if we ever get like a swap and it's like 6 of us or whatever, we could swap someone. I guess it would be sending herself to the other side. Unclear, but it would be really funny to be like, well, it's just us left. Anyways, I'm gonna bring over. Fuck it. I'm gonna bring over Sean, and we're just gonna kill him. I think that is a very funny use of the advantage of just like, who's going in the meat grinder?
No. No, I mean, I feel like there were two very, very different scenarios that they played. One was, hey, you got swap screwed. You know, go save yourself and get on the tribe with your advantage and say, like, I love that there's an advantage that can save you from being swap screwed. And the other one was, well, if it's just the 6 of us left, might as well just use it and screw someone over. And I was like, and be the only person left on the other side. They're just going to throw a challenge too. Like, it's not like, you know, you're just screwing yourself over completely. So it was two very different, like, hey, great, you can save yourself. And hey, you saved the rest of us while completely screwing yourself. And they were treating it like they were two equal options. And I was like, no, they're not. Please don't screw yourself over like this.
If you have a magic 8-ball and you're really great at predicting when merges, that is the only situation I feel like that works, and you want numbers. But I think it was also funny. It was like the other situation that popped in my head is like, well, we have the beauty tribe and the brute tribe, and if the supposedly muscle better performing at challenge tribes keeps on losing, and it's just like, maybe I just want 1 week where I win a challenge. That's the only other situation.
I mean, we'll see. It is funny that they've lost both challenges, despite saying that they're a stronger tribe. Stronger at what? We don't know. The preview looks very exciting. I really love the idea of everyone knows about Sean and Lily, and then Chloe coming in and being like, anyways. I think that's hilarious. I do think the most interesting tribe to go to tribal would be Kasaba, because I think that if Kyoshi goes again, I fear it will be one of the girls, or it'll be Alejandro and it'll be a boring week. Because what's that man going to do to save himself? At least Adam tried. Like,
yeah.
Well, he's going to have his meeting with his 4-person alliance.
Yes.
He's going to bring another group of 4, randomly decide.
No, the same group of 4.
No, well, next week he's going to do something different. And he's going to go, guys, did you hear? I think they voted out. I think they voted out a guy. I don't think they voted out Sammy. And then they're all going to go, wow, good job, Alejandro. He goes, yeah, I didn't see that guy, Jason, at the last challenge. I think he's out. So we'll see. Winner
Also,
picks.
Nobody's splitting their vote when you know that voting in the minority gets you a idol. You know, idol clue at least. So I thought that was a mistake for the people that knew about the split last time. I thought you would get like a Pascal and CJ voting against Alejandro or something like that, just to split the vote, but actually to get an idol clue.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they were just a little concerned about the potential of an Alejandro vote.
True.
Winner picks, obviously, Erin, you're going to stick by yours. Jacq, who's your winner pick?
Can I take a pass? Because I feel like everyone who might be watching knows how bad of a liar I am.
You can't say yourself. Okay, Jacq.
I think I'm gonna go with somebody who's really shown that they're invested in the game so far, and then I think they have the capacity to
Alejandro.
make the best alliances possible to go forward. So I'm gonna go with Ella.
I knew you were going to say Ella, and I knew it.
Yes.
I was waiting
All right.
for it.
Yes, Jacq.
You stand by that, Jacq. You're going to root for fucking Ella. My God. Just root for a trash can at that point. Just an inanimate object who appears in the show.
No, my actual answer is Kate, but I'm not like very confident on that.
I love that Kate's. I
love
Kate.
that attitude.
I love that attitude. Never support Ella. If Ella does something, then I'll support her. How about that? Akshay, you're rooting for Lily, is what you
I'm
said.
rooting for Lily. I actually think she's gonna like. Normally, I'll like randomly stand a female. I don't think I've ever rooted for a guy in these games, but like I legitimately think she has a really good shot at winning. So it's like Jacq. To be clear, you were the person I was randomly standing in season 8. So yeah,
Randomly.
So yeah, like I think Lily has a really good shot, and if not, maybe she'll be like the nicest host in the future or something like that. Who knows? It seems to work out for the people I root for.
Well,
Oh my
it'll
God!
be-
Wait, somebody in the
Hate to
chat
break
just
it
said.
to you, but Lily does not become a host.
Somebody in the chat said that they wish we
Fine,
got
she'll go to
to
court.
see Kate's confessional after Jason being voted out, which we did. And
We
I
did.
did write this down because she was like, yeah, I really wanted to play with Jason. I really wanted to and she was like, I really tried my best. And I was like, a cryptic phone call that said you're getting voted out? That's you trying your
Wasn't she
best.
on a call with Sammy at like right after and being like, "Wow, who would do this star 67
Yes.
call? That's so weird."
She was giving Karen Grodell a run for her money for the Academy Award with the, was it a creepy voice? Was it an unknown number?
So funny.
That's crazy.
it really just goes to speak to the bad gameplay where it's like Jason is your into the other tribe, and not only did you help Sammy get rid of Jason, you didn't really help Jason stop it. Like, what was the plan here? Because I guess it failed or worked because you got Sammy and you lost Jason.
What an upgrade.
What a trade! Oh my God!
And that's the hard part. Is that all my faves are making good moves, but then they're also making moves where I'm like, why?
I think
So-
the beauty is everyone's making such bad moves that it's not really like any game-ending moves. Like even Danielle's bullshit. I mean, who's playing great? Who's like really outplaying Daniela? Honestly, the person who's playing the best right now, I'm going to say, is probably Pascal, because what are his weaknesses? Truly, in this game, besides, big name, big threat, like he's not pissing anyone off. He's not giving undue information. He's listening, he's learning, and he's the narrator of his tribe. And usually it's want to hear the crazy shit that everyone else is doing. Like, I think Pascal has the cleanest game so far. I do think that like more people are being really powerful and controlling, but like we said, he's earned their well, we want to listen to what Pascal wants.
Yeah. I loved his confessional too, saying like I prefer to leave people out blindsided instead of like telling them that they're like and that came from real experience. Like he was like, I got bit in the ass because I told somebody that they were going home. Which but people can't tank your game if they don't know that you're voting them out.
And
I
he was
love that
also
cut it off in the middle, then came back to it, and we're just like, or it could
That
have
was
happened
fun.
what happened tonight, and Adam
Yep.
could have tried to just blow up that phone call.
Yeah, and I think Pascal's so right too with that call out of like you don't want to leave anyone like not being spoken to because then they're going to do something against you. And he's totally right. Again, I think he is playing the strongest game by virtue of just not really having those big misplays. And we'll see how well it goes. I mean, the issue is when you're surrounded by chaos, you're really going to be dragged into it. But incredible episode, incredible cast. Please get rid of Ella next. Is my one request. I fear she will be here for the long haul, and I just don't know if I can stand having her exist. Akshay, you said I didn't know which one Jenny was. Baby, give me 10 women, and I don't think I'll tell you which one Ella is. I don't know if I remember what she looks like. I think every time she's on screen, I just see like a big black hole of like nothingness. And when she's talking, I just sort of go deaf for a bit. Sorry, Ella's just not there for me.
Anders,
Well-
you're the only reason I remember who Ella is. I'm going to be completely honest.
Ella
Honestly.
comes out to future events to be crew, and so for that, we thank you, Ella.
Come on,
Yes,
Ella.
Ella.
Thank God she shows up for something.
Maybe she'll
Our
show up to
attendance
the
record is better
challenge.
than Alejandro's.
Well, duh.
Yeah, maybe she'll show up to the challenge next week and get a concussion because
Oh my god.
Yo,
That's-
Pascal doing the same thing that almost killed
Again!
Evan? Like, what are you doing?
That was so funny. I remember, yes. How could we forget? That is so funny to see it and go, Pascal, didn't Evan get a concussion from
okay, steal the bacon's one thing. I think you're going for a specific object and
Mhm.
yes, injuries can happen, but for the most part, I feel like it's tame. But why are we doing this Survivor Micronesia steal the bags?
Hold on. We have to talk about, did you just say steal the bacon was tame?
It's not full wrestling.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
You're not wrestling each other.
No, you're not wrestling each
You're
other.
wrestling
Yeah.
for a thing. Versus
Right.
this is you're going for the bag, but there's a reason why I assume it's the one from Survivor Micronesia where they did it in water. So when you threw somebody over their head, they landed in water. This is the grass.
It doesn't make sense to me, and that's what makes steal the bacon. You're just trying to grab the thing. You're not really trying to hit each other. And really, people only get hurt in steal the bacon when they just throw themselves entirely into it without really thinking about, I'm gonna hurt myself. If you run full force at someone, you're gonna hurt yourself. Maybe don't do that. Maybe think of it. The fact that it really is focused on it's full contact. Baby, why? Hey, maybe why?
And if anything, there's volleyball courts on campus with sand, right? We can do it on that. Maybe it could be cute.
Survivor Maryland ends up learning their lesson. And does
Thank you for that insight into the future, Jacq.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, we learned our lesson very quickly, and then didn't because we kept doing it over and over again, and then we learned it again. So we
But
figured
hey,
it out.
you're mostly 21 and under. They'll bounce back. They're young.
Yeah,
We've got to see. I want to hope that it's just misleading and that the oh my god is when someone does something impressive and not when someone gets hurt. But I have a feeling Pascal's gonna hurt someone again.
He's gonna murder Andy. That's what's gonna happen.
Which would be really funny. Oh, you know what? When Ella comes in and beats the shit out of Courtney, or beats the shit out of Chloe, Courtney, Kate, everyone, she's gone. When she kills
All those
Alejandro,
Kardashians.
No, the Pascal's gonna throw someone over his shoulder, and then Danielle's gonna be like, "Which one of you fucking flipped? Oh my god, who was it?"
over his shoulder. When Ella comes in and rips Alejandro's spine from his body and goes, "I want the point," then I'll stand her. Until that, we're done.
Yes. Yes.
And we
In a
say
way-
thank you.
Maybe Pascal is the Katie and Andy's the JS.
Let's not put that in the universe.
At
All
all.
right. Well, any other thoughts before we end this? Me, if I was Ella at the challenge to Alejandro. Any other thoughts before I end this?
Just my one commentary is I love the Natty Light can sitting next to the chair in the confessional booth. I think
What the hell is the painting behind the chair in the confessional booth? I was
In a
staring
frat
at that for
house
half the
basement.
episode.
This was
Yeah.
it's just so funny. Every single person just sits next to this can. It's like they're sipping on it between takes.
They're all sharing one.
it's the
Natty Light.
communal Natty Light.
Mhm.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me and Erin on this episode 3 after show. It's been an incredible season, and I can't wait for more. Hold on one second. I'm almost certain that there is another week delay for the next episode, and you'll have to just accept that. Hold on. Let me just double check.
You'll have to.
You have to accept it because
You know what you should do is you should next week in the airtime instead of watching episode 4, you should rewatch episodes 1 through 3.
and see if you
I
can
thought
find
you were
all
gonna
the
say, watch
times.
Survivor Michigan. What is this marketing, Erin?
No.
And shout out
Okay,
to all the
sorry.
editors who, like,
Episode
find all
4
the-
Episode 4 does come out next Monday, and then there will be a break. But get excited for episode 4, an episode that's
Woo!
sure to dazzle and delight. Where Pascal murders someone, and maybe Ella does too. Who knows?
And everybody makes out.
And maybe Lily if someone comes after Rohan.
You know what? Maybe that does happen. I think Lily kills Chloe outside of the challenge.
Yep, I can see
All
it.
right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, and see you next time. Bye-bye.